Anomaly is in another castle, and we can't wait to see her. I'm John.
I'm Sandy, and this is My Lady Disdain.
Not only is this My Lady Disdain, but this is the Smart Doll News.
Welcome to the Smart Doll News. We're happy to see you here in the U.S. It is Memorial Day, so if you were celebrating today, remembering our people that we've lost, I hope you had a lovely and peaceful day.
At the very least, we hope you've spent some quality time with your family and appreciate you spending some time with us. So, of course, we also appreciate our super smarties.
Janice Harding, Nico Usagi's Burrow, and Angel Kitty, thank you so very, 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 very much.
Yes, thank you for helping support this channel week after week. We really appreciate it. And apparently that deserves a squeak.
Thank you.
Button slip, finger slip for the win. I also did want to bring attention. I'm not sure if I can find in the chat. We have Milo and Toast and me unboxing their second doll, Reflection.
We love Reflection. She's beautiful.
And we also have the Happiest Gilmore, who just got their first doll today.
Cinnamon Monday. Awesome. Congratulations. Welcome to the Smart Doll Owner Addiction.
Yes, the addiction. We are addicted not only to the dolls and buying them and unboxing them and dressing them, we are also addicted to following all the things that Danny says. Like every week, we watch the Discord notifications for when he puts something on Twitter, and then we start just
we overanalyze everything.
Yeah. It's more of a. It's kind of a sport at this point, but we enjoy it, and we hope you do as well. So let's get started with our headlines. Our headlines today start with Anomaly Zombie in Grey, who we've seen in pieces.
And she looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, she looks so good.
I mean, she looks like she was really meant to be Grey.
I mean, the whole zombie thing, the Grey really fits that well. He does say that he has finished color matching. It's not perfect, but it's as good as it's going to get. He's happy with it. And this is always something that's difficult because the frame pieces and the soft vinyl reflect light at different in different ways. So trying to get them to show a similar color is hard. So that has settled in. So essentially, the Greys are ready. He just has to make them. And he did say that they're not going to release Galactic Grey until the blue stocks deplete, but they're, Anomaly Zombie's probably going to find her way out into the wild in the meantime. So, Sandy, what do you think? How are we actually going to see Anomaly drop?
Well, there's a few different ways it could happen. First of all, there is the possibility of her dropping in chaos. Maybe we'll see her that way. Maybe we'll see the head come out and then body parts, etc., and so forth. She could come out in Only the Brave, or Pebbles as they are sometimes called, which is where he does this randomly. He'll just put up a few and say, basically, if you're willing to drop your money for what's in this box, that's what you get. That's how I got Future.
Yeah, it's kind of like the chaos bundles that he does, but it's, even though technically you're likely to be disappointed, it's probably a doll. Like, you're buying and expecting probably a random doll for those Pebbles, not like random, apparel or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, basically it says it could be a Pebble in the box, and you have to be happy with the fact that you spent however many thousand yen on it.
There, of course, are. I always feel like there are probably people close to somehow the development of a doll, or the just the store in general, maybe an employee. But you will see certain dolls on Instagram well ahead of their release.
Right.
So they do get out there. Hopefully, it'll just be a random drop. Like, he's like, I've got 5 of these, go.
Yeah, like every once in a while, there's like, we made a few, and if you're lucky, you'll get one. And then there's always like the possibility of them going out to people. Like, he's done prizes for people who have posted a lot on Instagram. And have it show up on the site. Now,
it sort of stopped and it should have restarted now, but it was supposedly monthly, where they would look at the people who submitted, when it was a manual submission, submitted the most Instagram posts of unique products. So, like, if you posted 20 pictures of the same doll, nothing. If you posted 20 pictures of 20 dolls, you got essentially more entries, and were more likely to get a prize at the end of the month. So there's always that. If you're into Instagram, or if you're not, maybe think about take some pictures of your dolls and start taking a picture of like random, like different combinations of things, like the different apparel that you might have from CJ. All things that will increase your chance of getting some goodies at the end of the month. Now, he said they're not coming until Blue is done. But that then begs the question, when is Blue done?
Right.
We're getting pretty close. He did replace the head cap. We talked about this last week. He made the head cap orange, and I think I mentioned like this probably allows them to spend more materials on more dolls.
Extend blue longer because of the orange head cap. Yeah.
So we actually have confirmation here that that's exactly what happened, and he teased the final boss blue character. This got us all excited because it was like, who could this possibly be? I did some Photoshop work and was like, I was all excited for this and excited for a big discussion today. And then he announced. He announced exactly who it is. So the final blue doll to be released, and maybe not to be released, but essentially the final blue new doll to be added will be Blue Relentless. Or as I like to call her, Relentless Blue. Because I don't know, that sounds weird and strange.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Sandy?
I think I called it.
You did.
And I love her. I think she's gorgeous. I think she is the best, I think, of all of the 4 colors. I think I like the blue the best.
It doesn't exactly say the same thing to me, but we're gonna have to have her.
Yeah,
like, I almost hate you, Danny. Because it was just we have the Kintsugi prototype, who is a much more sensitive looking doll.
Yeah, she's very resilient looking, like sort of like a cross between Resilient and Future, actually, like that softer face.
Yep. We had much like harsher, really cool face up on Relentless, who was actually teased as North was her code name.
Mm-hmm. I thought maybe this could be my blue because all the other blues are yours.
You can claim whatever blue you want, but she's gonna be in the stories. Like she's gonna be in there. You haven't. This is probably the first blue that you've been really into.
Yeah, I've thought about Moment because I love my Cammy.
Yeah.
But I know none of them have really done it for me. But I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's very cool. The gold looks great. I mean, gold is one of the colors that we played with for the costuming for the blue characters. Mm-hmm. And she's got it on her face.
She's going to look really cool if she comes out in gray because she's going to look like rock.
Yes.
Like with striations going through it, which is very cool.
Yeah, well, anything, and I think that's largely why Coco works so well. Any of the darker tones, anything that looks a little more like it could be pottery almost, starts to create a really interesting illusion.
Right.
And she's very cool. So we have Relentless in Coco. At this point he put all of them up, and then he asked, out of the remaining girls that are being produced, Relentless, Anomaly, Moment, and Prowess, what is your priority? Which ones do you want to see first? So, Sandy, how would you stack rank these?
Well, definitely Relentless, because she's brand new and she's stunning and gorgeous, and I think a lot of people are going to want her, particularly with her story and everything.
Yeah.
And then I went for Prowess, because her head sculpt works really well in blue. And then Moment, because I don't think she's had as many moments in the sun as everyone else.
Yeah.
And then Anomaly, because Anomaly has been like out there a lot recently.
I'm gonna go. I'll do this backwards. At the bottom, I agree. Anomaly, she's gotten a bunch of love lately. She's got Grey coming. We have. Then I would say Relentless, because I'm not ready. I'm just.
You wanted to hold her off?
I just need a little time, Danny. And then I would say between the other two, I don't know, Moment and Prowess. It kind of. Moment is very cool, but we have Moment. If we were to buy Moment or Prowess, it would probably be Prowess. She's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually got to see Kitty Blue's Prowess in person when she was here.
And reads so much better in person. I mean, they all do, but...
Yeah, she's very cute in person.
Now, I did mention that I did not think it was going to be relentless, or honestly somewhat hoped it wasn't going to be relentless. I thought it's the end of an era. It's the end of the blues. The line is ending. Why not end blue with where Smart Doll started? And I decided to create a mock-up of her. So I introduced to you Mirai Interstellar Blue.
I love her with the purple eyes. That looks awesome.
This was a lot of fun. It was hard figuring out the eyes, but I think the purple kind of worked out well.
Yeah.
If I had any other option other than coloring the hair, I would have tried to do something a little bit different, but I went with electric blue, knowing full well that it wouldn't be that because he would have, he doesn't even make
He's not using the electric blue anymore. But, I mean, how good does that look with bangs?
Yeah. That would have been amazing to get the electric blue with bangs as well. That's great. So, if any of you are listening or watching or a big fan, have your favorite wig place, like, I don't know, Dallas Dollco or something, put in a request.
Different things done with the blue.
Yeah. Give us pick up where Danny left off. Then, of course, I was like, well, if it's the final boss,
right, it's
really got to be Mirai Plus.
Exactly. This is her second or third wave where she gets really, really big.
Right, it's the second phase. Oh, you get her down to 50% health, and then she just she
gets huge.
Yeah. It's. There's no way this is happening unless I don't know, Danny finds this so amusing that he actually just does a quick runoff. But he's already said it's the end. I don't see this, happening. But I would, I'd love to see, I don't know about Grey. I don't know about other, I'm not sure what face-ups are going to look good on Grey, other than the really special ones, So it'll be interesting to see as we transition out of blue and into Grey.
Definitely Prowess. I can't wait to see Prowess in Grey.
Any with face-up. I really hope he does a Grey Kabuki. And it probably would look great with the normal standard makeup, but maybe with a monotone.
Curiosity would look super cute in Grey, especially with what we've got it coming up, the expressions.
Right, because the gray cats and everything like that. So, yeah, it really depends on the doll of whether I think it's going to work. But there's some key ones out there. And in the end, as we know with Blue, he didn't do all of the dolls. He did a select few.
Nevzilla says, I hope there is a run of Grey for Prophecy. We need a proper Grey alien. I agree. I think a Grey Prophecy would be very cool.
Any of the weird ones. Just give me the weird stuff. Like the normal girls. And now I have and now I have Dr. Horrible's sing-along stuck in my head.
We do the weird stuff.
Anyway. So yeah, that is this is my wishful photoshopping, as I think I said on Instagram. Next up, normally we don't follow or talk too much about the around the town posts that Danny does. He actually had one talking about Costco opening up, and people, the actual food court basically being open, and a sign that the pandemic is towards the end. A couple of interesting things that Danny talks about in this post. He does talk about how Japan is opening up for tourism. We have tourism, but specifically not just anybody can come. to begin with, I believe it's anybody through like a tour package. And so that way, where is it? Yeah, he said the idea is that the tour organization will take responsibility for ensuring that visitors follow the mask-wearing rules in crowded areas. So they still have mask policies, but it's in crowded areas, public transport, things like that.
I am not sure why this is blocked.
That's fine, I'll show it. And then I'll show it there because we've talked about it. Which final boss could have been Blue Prophecy? That would have been cool. But Blue, did he do Blue Prophecy? I don't know. I feel like to remember, why he would. I think he did early on, but maybe I'm insane. Now, the other thing to take note of here is Danny actually asks, do you have any travel plans for Japan this year? And then he wants to visit Malaysia, London, and America. And he wants to have a booth at some event. So, my question to you, honestly, like, we're not deep enough into the community yet. We haven't even gone to a doll convention or anything remotely like that yet. So, our question to you in the chat, watching on the replay, leave us a comment actually on the video and let us, and more specifically, let Danny know, like, where the big events are that he should really be thinking about doing a booth at. And then maybe he'll be coming your way. If you are planning to travel to Japan, you should check out, I think Danny says there's a specific phrase to Google. You're looking for the blue regions for folks who don't have to quarantine when they come in. So if you Google Japan entry quarantine list color, you will find their official colors here, red, yellow, and blue. And blue is, I mean, quite honestly, it's most of the people, most of our demographic and our audience.
Yeah.
Americas, UK, a lot of Europe, Australia. So just double check if you are planning that they are opening up. And this opens up as of June 1st. So as of June 1st, anyone from a country on that list will not have to quarantine. Carl asks, which event? Just again, to be specific, Danny has not said he has an event he's going to. He's asking what events should he maybe think about.
We have a Smart Doll Land release announcements tweet.
Okay.
Something for you to watch while I head in the studio to prep a drop this morning.
Something for us to watch. It already comes up as Smart Doll.
Us.
All right. Well, thank you for the recommendation, Danny.
Thanks, Danny.
That is funny. All right. Clearing this and clearing that. Get out of my way. All right. So, again, let us know in the comments where you think Danny should set up a booth at this year, if he's able to. Now, we also had an announcement last night, basically. And this is, it's not a release, but it is the first official announcement of the, and you can see here, we've got our two girls dressed up, the Solar Marine uniform.
And I think this might be what's dropping because Danny probably saw that we have girls out wearing those uniforms.
I don't know. Well, okay.
He said talk to people that have them.
Right,
if you're thinking about buying. So
so yeah, we've got there's some interesting stuff he does talk about. The little tidbits I think that we've learned out of this is that The PC bike, the actual like computer case that is a bike for Smart Dolls, has been officially canceled. So that's disappointing, but I'm sure most people would probably end up just buying it and not actually, like, we'd be better off like making a bike that's a bike and not a PC case. So we had he made these and he made these specifically because he needed biker gear, and they've basically stuck. You've got the pants and the jacket in both the Arctic and Volcano.
Glacier, I believe it's called, right?
Yeah, that's probably, yeah. Glacier and Volcano. We have seen pictures of the Forest prototype, which look pretty cool, but it's not coming out yet.
I actually really like the Forest prototype, but he said he's not quite sure on the colors yet.
So hopefully that means not sure that he's got the right colors yet, and that he can settle that and does release them, because I would love to have the trio. I like having the different, like, each group is a different climate or has a different purpose, that sort of thing. Kelly Poplar says, Danny still needs to release Smart Doll vehicles, please.
He's talked about it. He was, he's working with the person on his team that can do that modeling. So I think that we will be seeing at least some sort of vehicles at some point.
He does say here that he plans to keep it as a regular item. But there may be reasons why you do not want to stay, that you want to steer clear of this. So let's take a look at these. In fact, I'm going to go to, we'll go to the end here. Here we go. Reasons to avoid. They're a tight fit. I would agree with that.
They very much are, yes.
They are like skinny jeans. They are very much a tight fit.
Yeah, like when you pull them onto the doll, you want to push the leg all the way up so you have a lot of fabric to get it over their hiney, because it is like super snug.
I would say they're tighter than the jeans. The jeans have... they don't have as many seams. The jeans have just the 2 side seams, and these have like 3 and multiple like patches and things. And so that makes them also a little bit more rigid. And also a different material, right? It's not the same.
Yeah, it's like a flex, it's like a stretchy canvas twill. But it's got a lot more stretch to it than a lot of the other fabrics.
I do love this. He brings this up multiple times in the reasons to avoid that. If you start sweating and you sweat on your Smart Doll, they may slap you. The idea that the dolls are just abusing us is really funny. Now, they were designed to be worn on the bike. They had to remove the support slits from the pants, the support socket slits. Because it would ride down. So even though the bike isn't really coming out, we still don't have that, opening where you can put the socket through. I currently, and I might have been able to smudge it down.
You might want to go bigger.
Let's go to main screen here. But you can see I've unzipped the volcanic zips in the back. So I've unzipped this, let it lay out so that she can have her thing there. And, if you're doing something like taking a picture and need the stand, you're not going to notice that really anyway. And quite honestly, they're tight enough that opening is not going to change that much about how this lies.
And while you had her back, you could always look at the... 3, it says that there's a zip on these pants.
Yep.
And
that's what I just showed him.
And then on these, I put long hair on these girls, and I probably shouldn't have.
She's got a snap instead of a zip.
I love the way the snap looks. I think it's really cute.
So again, you can just snap that open, and then you'd have enough. But even here, it really depends on whether or not you want to risk sort of damaging the fabric. You want to hold her since she's up now? So he does mention number 3 here that the zipper that I showed you on the volcanic can scuff. So it generally will come out with with a melamine sponge. Magic Durgan asks if the tag has a stop, the snap has a stop like the tag to stop it from hurting the doll. Yes. If you can get it right, the tag can go there, and you just got to make sure you position it right. So we've got, let's see, that revealed. The stain rating. The stain rating on this, he didn't have any staining problems, but they're very tight, and he is only in one climate.
Right.
So he has rated the stain risk low. We have yet to have any issues either.
Future's been in this, like, pretty much since we got it.
If she's been in there the entire time, then maybe we do. But again, if you are worried, you should be changing your doll clothes somewhat regularly. But
it's tight on her hip, and I don't see any staining from the butt.
It's really, I haven't seen any issues. You could use an inner, like a stain prevention legging or something like that. But if you even can get it on her with it looking any like reasonable, like I imagine that trying to get both inner leggings on and these, you'd end up with like some of one bunched up in different places.
Yeah, she's wearing underwear, and underwear works fine, but I don't think I would try and put a legging underneath.
The emblem, this was interesting, and this is something that I definitely notice and nitpick over, but I got over very quickly. The emblem is facing forward. It's rolled to the front side of the arm, because if it wasn't,
you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't know what it was.
You'd barely ever see it. So he has, I mean, Danny does this often, right? Like he wants a particular look. He's made it for that look. And he wants you to see it from the front, at least enough to understand it's there, and what it is. It does not bother me. Like, I noticed it, forgot it, then he said it, and I remembered, and then I forgot again.
I gotta say, like, I'm not normally a uniforms person. I want, like, all the pretty things. Right. But the fit on these is amazing, and this jacket with the jeans even, so cool. Like, it's a really good look.
Anna Kay mentions that once she gets the Arctic, the glacier uniform, she'll be able to comment on staining because of the sweaty Satan's armpit that is humid Queensland, Australia. So yeah, definitely report to us, and we'll let everyone know.
Other than the amount of rain and stuff, Japan is probably pretty similar temps to us. I think
probably.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the list. The uniform has been given a stonewash look, and the emblem. He says the emblem looks worn and fuzzy. Yeah, maybe. I would say honestly that just looks like general embroidery stuff when you're doing that small. Mm-hmm. The elbow design has a padded look, which some may feel is bulky.
Yeah, there's just like an extra, like there's seams just for the elbow. You probably can't really see it.
And because you have a seam here and here, well, no, you've covered the other one up. You can probably see at this point because of those two seams, it does bulk up the elbow a little bit. And I will say, movement, and I think that's one of his things. Movement becomes a bit of an issue. It's a little bit tougher. You've got to, worry a little bit more about getting her elbow out more.
The sleeves and legs are longer though, so if you push them to give yourself more room, like you do when you push your sleeves up, you can move them a little bit easier.
You got her?
Yep.
It can only fit up to a medium bust, a medium smooth. I would say, I mean, both of these are regular, right?
Yeah, these are both standard.
So these are smalls. My guess is you can totally do. You might be able. We'll have to try it and get back to you. But I suspect that you could zip up to the breasts and like maybe get just enough coverage, possibly, but not close it all the way on a large.
Yeah.
But
and this is standard bust, and I have her zipped all the way up and snapped, and it was tight.
So all right. So in that case, we have to double check on the medium.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you.
That.
As with all form-fitting smart doll wear, it may restrict articulation, meaning your doll may not be able to do the circus acrobatics they usually get to when you sleep. Accessories such as the combat belt and the combat cape are designed to go well with the uniform and will be sold separately.
I need that cape so bad.
I know. The cost, and here comes the cost, and I bring up the cost because of the accessories too. The cost all in for the full accessories, the cape, the combat, belt, boots, and the uniform it's probably well over $1.
Yeah, probably over $1. Yeah, you're right.
And he mentions buying 2 of these if you wanted each of these, the Arctic, and just to be clear, Sandy has her also in the
jacket.
The jacket,
yeah,
which is not part of it. But if you wanted to buy both of these, they would be nearly $1. Now, we do know exactly how much they cost. It's not up on any page yet, but it is in the new releases because he's made the page for them. So here we have the Solar Marine uniform, Volcano, at 19,900 yen. My prediction was like 20,000 yen, so
yep, you
pretty much
nailed
nailed that.
Yep.
It's definitely not a full doll, but it's
if you're buying both,
it's almost 40,000 yen.
Yeah, and if you're investing and you don't have like the smart doll boots and stuff yet that match, you're gonna want them.
Yeah,
and then you're way up there.
So he does have all of this on this page. I mean, if you just search for the uniform, you can find this. And from the sound of it, from Danny's post, this will be dropping momentarily. So keep your eye on the stream or the.
This is what we're surmising anyway.
I would keep your eye on. Well, something's going to drop this morning anyway. My guess is it's probably this.
Yeah, and because he said to come watch us while he prepares the drop. So
and maybe he was just being nice, but I think considering what we were literally talking about at the moment, was there a winky face? I don't remember. So there we have it, and all of everything that we talked about is here. All the reasons not to buy.
Go back to that screen. You make us small again.
Yep. Screen. You can see this will probably be updated shortly if I'm right. So you can, if you really, really want them, you can find this page and start refreshing. All right.
It was very nice of Danny to recommend people come watch us, though. That's
yes, it was very cool. We have some sad news. This is going into the more somber side of the news.
Yeah, it happens.
First of all, Relentless and Cinnamon has already been discontinued. She, not even a day, she really, this happens, it happens when there just isn't enough, sales on them.
It happened with Kabuki.
Yep.
He released cinnamon, tea, and cocoa very close together, and tea just did not do as well as the other two, and he said, okay, no more of that. So
I wonder, this is just me thinking from a sales perspective, I wonder, did the back-to-back releases of the 3 different, skin tones affect sales? But either way, if he's missing sales, he's likely missing sales on people who can't afford a doll right now, and hence did not buy this, even though they maybe would really like it. Or he's missing sales on people who would buy it as their second Relentless because they really love Relentless.
my thought on it is that maybe anime is only coming out in cinnamon, and he's not going to have both.
It could be. We have not seen an M1 in the wild yet, so maybe he's not...
Only blank heads.
Yeah. But have we seen other skin tones for the M1 sculpt? Or have we only
I'm
seen...
not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah, let us know in the chat and in the comments. Have you seen in Chaos any of the M1 sculpt, that new anime look?
And so she is actually gone, right?
Yes, she is gone.
Yep. Okay.
She has no plans.
No plans to restock, and you cannot get her anymore.
Yeah.
So.
And speaking of which, so he didn't announce this either. It just happened. And at least if he did, I don't know where he did. We also have Smart Doll Independence, which was announced on Twitter. And we also have no plans to restock Smart Doll Independence in cinnamon.
So she is gone as well.
Yep. So we have... This happens all the time. It's just the way things are in terms of, Danny trying to give everybody the opportunity to get the dolls they want, but not being able to make every doll all the time. And he needs to choose to focus on these things. And sometimes dolls disappear quickly. Sometimes dolls take forever to even come out.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of you out there who have been, like when Danny, poor Future, when Danny talked about creating, having this onslaught of new dolls starting in the second week. And he certainly, so far, is living up to that just in the sheer variations of Relentless that he's releasing. But there's a lot that you've been hoping for. And that you haven't seen in a long time, but you've been teased. We just wanted to take a moment and pay some respect to all the girls who keep you waiting. If you want to support, getting these girls out there, the best thing that you can do right now is like this video. It's not, it's the best thing for us. There's a lot we've been waiting for, and, we play that, in jest, but there are girls that people hold on to, if you hadn't been lucky enough to get Future,
I would be just clawing at the walls.
Yep.
Because I already was.
Yeah, no, you were going a little crazy. Yeah, we appreciate, where you guys are all coming from. And, we thought Danny should know that, we haven't forgotten all these beautiful girls that he's shown us. We are now getting back into the news with faces. We've got some progress on our M1 girl, and I can't say M1 girl anymore because we now have 2 M1 girls. We have Anime Relentless, and we have this girl, whose code name, as far as we understand, is Ray. We've seen it on a number of documents, and we can see it here inside this.
That's the katakana for...
What looks like an L and a T for English speakers, or Tolkien runes, is the katakana for Rei. So no meaning, just Rei, R-E-I. So we will be referring to her as such until we have a better name.
Magic Durgan, I think you and I like the same dolls, because you want future too, and I'm of the same mind as you. I want Relentless without the kintsugi markings.
Yeah. I know. I think there's a lot of people who do really want both. I would love to see both, but I mean, I get it. But having teased us with without the kintsugi and then adding the kintsugi on, it's just torture. Ray seems to be coming along. We even have, I don't know what we call this. He has these instruction sheets, but this is for the blushing that is on Ray. It's going to be so confusing. Danny, come give us a name, please, because I can't keep calling her Ray, because our big custom kabuki is Ray. She's coming along. We should hopefully see something more on our anime kabuki.
We need to go back because Danny added more reasons not to buy the Solar Marine uniforms. They are being released later this morning. So this Japan morning.
Okay. So let's head back to, I'm sure this should... both jack and pant tight uniform were originally designed to be worn. Volcanic version as a zip, glacier as a snap. Please say that the Nephilim no stains. Emblem is purpose centered. The uniform has been given stonewash. Volcanic version was more weathered as
12 is new.
12. If you bought expensive shoes, the bell bottom will cover most of it, so you may as well go for the vinyl boots that cost less.
Okay, so he must have probably heard what we were saying.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. You don't. Yeah, the bell bottoms are you just need boot tips.
If you're splurging on the uniform and the vinyl boots are available, get the vinyl ones because they're cheaper.
We haven't yet gotten the vinyl boots ourselves, but I can only assume that there's very little difference in the stability of them from the leather to the vinyl.
I'm going to pull these down as far as they will go. And really, it covers all on the lace-up boots. It covers almost all the way to the bottom eyelets. So you're really not seeing the whole boot. But the nice thing about the CJ boots is that you don't need a stand because the boots will hold them up.
Yep. Okay. It looks like everything else is pretty much the same. I don't think we said this or if this is new, but he says if you decide to get a smart doll instead, she and your existing smart dolls may now be able to stand on each other's shoulders to get to your wallet and buy the uniforms without your knowledge. So, what we believe is Rey, based off of the katakana. And then here we have, I've already rotated it. This is how it originally was, looking in the drawers, some of the head drawers here. But this has two very interesting things. Oops. Let's start with this lovely lady, if I can get her over there. Here we have Curiosity with a lovely new
Little snaggletooth.
little snaggly smile.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
That is so cool. Now, we've talked about Danny doing alternate faces. I have a feeling that this is a replacement. I think what we're seeing in this whole thing, like, I don't think he's yet... Like, we haven't really seen too much... Like, we haven't gotten any official announcement about alternate faces or anything for dolls. My guess is, until we hear that, I'm going to assume that this is a replacement, a newer version.
Well, he said he was working on them.
I know, but we haven't... So it could be... But if we apply the same rules to this face and the face to the left of it, it doesn't quite add up. So maybe this is an alternate face. Maybe this is a replacement. Either way, it's amazing, right?
Yeah. I did not know that, now in recent years, I looked up an article about this, and I forget what the Japanese word is for having the snaggleteeth,
So, yeah.
but it up until like very recently, it has been considered a beauty standard in Japan to have not perfect teeth.
Interesting.
Yeah, like in 2012, between 2012 and 2014, girls were actually going and having procedures to have their teeth crowded.
Okay.
The speculation was like, does it have something to do with, the wabi-sabi aesthetic and stuff like that that too much perfection is not as attractive as having a small amount of imperfection and all of that stuff. That
It's always scary either way when we start altering ourselves to meet any beauty standard, no matter what direction it is.
I mean, it's still considered attractive, Kelly Poplar says, and black teeth. Yes, that was the other thing, was like having blacked out teeth has been around for a long time in Japan.
Wow.
But I guess in recent years, people are realizing, that it's not incredibly healthy to have crowded teeth.
Well, as anime goes, it's very cute. And a lot of that has to do with probably also the personalities, the mischievousness that typically is associated with the snaggletooth. But very cool. And here we have this girl. So there's been lots of conversations about this. Who is she? She looks an awful lot like somebody else, but it's different. It's not quite right. I did some work, and I am pretty darn sure that this is Singularity. And there's some interesting key differences between this face-up and normal Singularity. Mm-hmm. So let's take a look. Here is normal Singularity. She has mostly a gray tone to her. And I believe she was pretty much made for blue. I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, when she came out, like she and her name and everything like that, like it was very, I don't know, it very much, she belonged in blue. And we actually have a blue Singularity who is now a floating head, because she is serving as the body for Iki, one of our new characters. But you can see gray eyeshadow. Interesting here, the two lower lashes that are only in that lighter gray sort of eyeshadow or almost blushing. And here I take basically the face up from this one, and applied it to that head and morphed it to basically line up with the proper like angle that it's supposed to be at. So here we have the new version. She's got a smile. And she, you can see now, you can definitely will notice that, like the blushing is gone, the eyeshadow is gone, and that's my processing. I was more concerned about really telling if the makeup, the shape of everything is the same. It is really spot on, except for an increase in eyelashes.
Mm-hmm. She's smiling and laughing a little bit, so her eye changes a little bit. It has to do with her eyes squinting a little bit when she's laughing.
And this bottom lid goes a little bit farther out, farther up.
I think that's the crinkle. I think that's to show the eye closing.
And she has this now. The colors are definitely messed up. And I don't have a side by side. But I mean,
I love the new version. I love this expression. I feel the eyes look less muddy.
Again, if you're feeling that because, well, all right, what we don't know from that other picture is, does this have that sort of black and blue, like 2-section thing? I fully expect that, like, there's, like, a lot of the colors have been crushed in the other picture because of the angle, because I actually had to remove, you can see here, this whole thing. This is like a long specular highlight, basically, on the bottom edge of the eye socket. So I had to get rid of that to start. So I don't know. I would be surprised if this is one color. I would guess that this is and it has an inner black version like she has.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah. Definitely interesting. Definitely. Here's my thing though. She has been gone for quite some time. I think this face up is a new version
Of her.
of Singularity. And I think he's trying to, like, he likes her, but he's trying to make her a little more popular. Because I don't think she was incredibly popular.
Yeah, I really like this version. I mean, Melody got pulled away and given a touch up, some more color in her face and whatnot. So it doesn't surprise me if that's all this is. But it was in a drawer with the Curiosity that looks like a facial expression, not just a new version.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just figured that those are expressions that they're trying.
Yeah. So this cannot just be an expression. Like there's no way there's too many changes. And plus the other one doesn't exist. So if, it's, who knows? Like we'll have to see what happens with Curiosity. I'm fine if it's a new version. I would buy that, new Curiosity in a second.
With the tooth? I have that kind of teeth, so that would make me very happy.
Yeah. Magic Durgan says, I wonder if that drawer is all prototype heads. And to that, Magic Durgan, I say, leave me alone. Don't crush my dreams. Because then only one person's going to have this. The world needs to have this. So, let's move on to apparel. We're getting some new colors of Tokyo jeans.
Yeah, it looks like we are. I mean, these have, or maybe those are just ones that haven't been distressed yet.
I mean, I don't. Well, here's what I mean. Sure, I guess this could turn into that, is what you're saying. My thought that could be it. I mean, the stitching is the same in terms of the color. My thought is we're getting a darker version of the Tokyo jeans.
Which would be very cool. I would love a darker version of the Tokyo jeans.
I would assume that they don't... This is a big assumption, but I'm guessing that they buy denim the color that they want as a base. Mm-hmm. And then they do distressing to it, like the whiskerine and things like that.
They send them out to be distressed.
Right. So I'm saying smaller things. I would find it hard to believe that we've never seen these before, of the before and after. So my guess is that this is a darker version.
Kaylin Sky says, yeah, I don't like the rips either. They weren't my favorite to begin with, but now I love them.
They're really good.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that has to do with the softness of those jeans. They're so soft and nice.
We have them on Salem right now, and they look really, really good.
Yeah. We also have a new sweater coming down the pipeline. I love this knit.
The color, I love the knit. It looks like it's a boxy sweater, like a crop that you can hang a t-shirt out of.
Yeah, like it's got a big V-neck. Mm-hmm. It's very, very, extremely bulky. Well, the knit's not necessarily bulky, but the pattern is very big, oversized. We've also got some, I did specifically choose not to include licensed dolls in the in development section. But we've got another picture of C2 from Code Geass, and this is, I believe, the back of her jacket and what looks like a sort of loop. A belt loop for this belt to go through.
Yeah, it looks like a muslin of the back of her jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Last up, accessories. We got some weird robot hands. Clearly 3D printed. You can see the layers on the hands from 3D printing. It looks like articulated robot hands and fingers, but they're pretty clearly, like, looking up here at these. These are not actually articulated. They're just made to look that way. So to me, this is like a mech hands or something like that. But then he posts this.
I want to think that they are dipped in milk chocolate.
They're finger licking good.
Smart doll lollipops.
Smart doll pops. Smartie pops. I want Smartie pops now. Danny, get on it. I'm not sure why the brown, other than like a darker base, an earthier base color that he is then going to paint on top of, perhaps. It's, not sure.
Someone said Tootsie Roll fingers. It's like, yeah, it does look like the Tootsie Rolls when they're like, when you get the long ones and they're hooked together and they have that notch in them.
Yeah. No, that's, I don't know. I'm really curious. There was some discussion, we should mention, that, maybe these aren't mech hands. Maybe these are prosthetics, something to go along with that. This confuses me even more with the Coco because I'm like all of his prosthetics right now, like the legs, are metal. They're not skin toned. They're not designed because in general, you want them to stand out on the doll so that you know it's different. And so my gut says this is mech related. If it looks like a robot and quacks like a robot,
maybe that's just a first layer and he's doing like a rusty version. Like that could be a tarnished metal hand.
Yeah. And that, of course, brings us to the end of the news, which is the best part of the news, because it's time for the Smartie Party.
We came to party all night long. Let's sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't
That's right. If you want to submit your photo to the Smartie Party, you've got to join our Discord server. So hop on over to myladiedisdain.com/Discord to join one of the... we just keep getting bigger, and I'm so happy and proud to see everyone in this community just, not only being just really caring about each other and sharing their love of Smart Doll, but also helping us, becoming more a part of the news and making it more community driven.
And so far, zero drama.
Don't. This isn't. I can't even count this as wood. Don't.
Yeah, we're knocking on something here because.
So that is so much fun. Thank you. I believe Baggins Lover is this week's coordinator for the Smartie Party. So did a great job.
Thank you very much.
And I think that brings us to the last segment, which is the Q&A.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Remember, please put the word question in your, if it's still working, in your... your text in your message so that it highlights it easier for us, unless you're just talking to other people. But we will do our best to get to your questions. And I'll ask Sandy a question. Do we have any updates on Smart Doll Land?
So far, just that we are expecting a update. We're expecting a release later this morning. Smart Doll JP new releases. The Solar Marine uniform in both colors. But that's all I think we know so far.
All right. First question. Did Chaos choose you? Was there new Chaos that we missed? Because we did get the last round of the Chaos, Utter Chaos bundles.
Chaos hasn't chosen us recently.
Other than every day. Anna K asks...
Her name is Olivia.
Yes.
She's upstairs in her crate.
Yes. We lure her in before the news. Any clue on C2's release date? No, other than...
Not at all.
The last thing that we know of was he was visiting the offices of the production company, and implied a release soon. It seemed to me like it was going to be a surprise and not like C2, but at this point it probably was talking about C2, so hopefully soon. I do not think we'll see C2 before we see Batgirl, because he has specifically cited Batgirl as, if it's not coming this month, coming very soon into this onslaught of dolls.
Anna said, question, is Miranda's hair all messed up, or is that my phone? It was static sticking to the microphone that is above our heads.
Let's see. The Doll Dragon asked, do you think Anime Relentless is coming today? No. I don't think so, but we could be wrong.
We've definitely been wrong before.
Let's put it this way. The only thing he seems to have hinted at is the Solar Marine uniforms.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't even hint that. He said it.
Well, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Kit Kat Crafts and K-pop. I'm getting better at saying that name. There's so many K's in it. Would you trade a girl for an unreleased doll? I feel like... I have kidneys.
There's probably a doll... if someone said X unreleased doll was coming out... or I could have her. Is there a doll that I would trade? Probably.
Yeah. We're probably in the mode of, if we want to buy a new doll, we really need to probably sell one at the same time.
Or sell some stuff.
Yeah, more stuff.
Yeah.
A doll would be easier because it would be like one shipment. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Not right now. Like I said, I think we're mostly good. Well, Yeah, the whatchamacallit, Blue Relentless.
Blue Relentless. I really want Anime Relentless, but I kind of want her without the marks.
Yeah. Yeah, you want anime. You want North.
No, I want the anime one.
Oh, that's right. That's right. North
I want
wasn't,
the one that
was
looks
semi-real.
more like Comey.
Right. But that's still you want North anime. You don't want Relentless. Caitlin asked, "How many subscribers are you going for?" Well, I mean,
As many as want to come join us.
yeah. There's no. Quite honestly, I mean, if you're asking about our goals are always just what's the next horizon. It's never. And I honestly don't really pay too much attention to subscriber count right now. Our focus, I think, is just about building community. One of the metrics that I track every week is how many concurrent people watch the news live, because that tells me kind of how big our core group is versus people who are like, I'm gonna every now and then watch a video.
And if you just came here because Danny told you to come, welcome.
Yeah. Like No Otter Designs, where is Batgirl? We're not gonna say she's not Kanata. We know, like, she's coming. I hope, I'm not gonna say expect, I hope for an announcement this week, which would be the prelude to her release.
Right. I think Danny got, Relentless is probably a favorite of his, and he probably wanted to release her for Mental Health Awareness Month, would be my guess. And
Magic Durgan says, "Can you give Miranda a pat for this future lover?" Now, okay. Yep, moving on.
Who's future lover?
Hannah K says, "For everyone who wants a boy and which skin tone, I'm very much looking to the new boy bodies, and hope they are a permanent lineup." We
have a boy.
We need better boys. Like I hope and wait for the other boys. I don't know what we're gonna. I hope to want and desire all of the skin tones for boys.
We need more stuff for boys. I think that's one of the biggest things about the boys is there's not enough stuff for them.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to dress them. It's tough. For the stories and things like that, I mean, I need at least a couple to have every now and then, but otherwise I'm fine with most of the characters being female. It makes voiceover a little difficult. All right, let's see. Lavana Riccelli, do you plan to attend any cons this year? As we mentioned earlier, when Danny had said, I hope to have a booth at some event, we've never been anywhere for doll cons. I mean, you and I actually haven't been to much in the way of cons in general.
No, not like geek cons.
Yeah. So we would welcome any comments on the video from you guys of recommendations of events.
Yeah, what are the good conventions to go to? Like, I mean, we know obviously Anime NYC is a big one, but tell us about some other ones. I mean, we're in Western Pennsylvania. If there's anything Chicago-ish or something like that that's worth doing, let us know.
Something in Texas maybe, or out in New York. I mean, we're actually pretty reasonable in terms of getting to various places. But yeah, so we're not sure. Definitely, we want to. The dogs complicate things for more than one reason. But it's definitely something we are going to try and work out. And we, of course, I'm just going to put it out there into the world that we are beginning planning, i.e. it's in my head, we are definitely talking about doing some sort of like local-ish meetup for the people who are in a travelable distance to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how we would do that and do it safely and that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. And Amy Zickerman, thank you so much. I look
Thank you
forward to
very
your
much.
videos every week. Thank you for sharing. We really appreciate that. And like I said, like talking about the metrics, being able to just focus on building community and doing creative stuff that that gives us, is fulfilling to us and that you guys like as well. That's what we're really looking for.
Someone said the Solar Marine uniforms are live. I'm just going to double check.
I can on the page, so yeah, they are
They
live.
are live.
So he hasn't sent out the notice. So if you're watching this and you want to search on the site for Solar Marine uniform, there goes
Yep,
the notice.
There's the notice. And something else too. It's like Valiant semi-real in the G7 sculpt is available now. No need to rush to buy, as she will always be with us. This is an exciting evening.
Yeah. And here she is. There is semi-real Val. Kelly, we'll come back to your question. Thank you, Angel Kitty, so much. We appreciate your support. Semi-real Val. I love some of these the dolls with the the various skin conditions and
Differences.
things. Yeah. I just I don't know, someday. Going back, Kelly, are there any new plans for your shop? I have a bunch of things got a little crazy. I do have a bunch of t-shirts. I think the thing I need to focus on is I did actually do up some towels, like some beach towels, with like shots of like Mirai, Kizuna, and Chitose in bikinis. I think those will probably be next because it's timely. But I've just got to sit and focus on it.
From Danny, Solar Marine uniforms available now. Remember that we will merge orders where we can, but most outstanding orders are packed.
Right. So if you ordered something earlier today or something like that, I'm liking that he is letting us know, and usually
They try.
He's usually telling us the same thing. By the time he's releasing something, most of what they have is packed. Even though they try to put things together, right now there's not that many orders that are left to go out.
Mm-hmm. It says, don't order if you're going to be miffed about this. So, like...
And these things are going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that he released should you be worried about if it sells out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If you garnish the 3D sculpting skill, would you sell or share the files with fellow printers? If I
garner it, yeah.
I think. Here's my guess. We haven't talked about it. We keep talking about we're moving towards a Patreon at some point. You can see every video I'm doing, working on doing more videos. In fact, the video that we didn't get out this weekend, which is a video. It's the part 2 of where to get clothes. And we sort of did an update to the opening to that original video. And this was our first time pushing the envelope with the green screening that I've been working on and doing voiceover on top of it. and doing like an actual little scene. So I think you'll start to see that as we grow towards that, and then we get ready to launch like bigger, more stories. We'll be launching probably a Patreon along with that, and I could see things from the project being, most likely being able to be like available to Patreon members and stuff.
Right.
And I think that's, I certainly may put stuff out in the meantime on Discord, but likely that will expect that those things will eventually find a home inside, Patreon, just so that, it's you all who help support us and get us to the point with the 3D printer. And we will definitely be looking to give back to those people. Kiki Doll, thank you so much. Really glad you're enjoying it, and we'll hope to see you at the lives again. A 1/4 Canadian asks, can you make a breaking news graphic for tweets or drops? That would be cool. Yeah, I literally, the reason why we have things like, well, that's not even on the right thing. The reason why we have things like Squee and stuff like that is I got a bigger control board, a bigger stream deck, and I've got extra room now, whereas before I had like only...
I had this many buttons.
I was at capacity. So yes, I will. Now that you've said it, can almost guarantee you I will look into some sort of breaking news.
It would honestly usually have to be me because I'm the one that's wearing the watch getting notifications on it. So
yeah, but you're like, and then I'll just press it.
Yeah. I'm the one that usually knows when there's something happens.
What we need, and I don't, like, it would be hard to figure this out. What we need is for something to trigger. It'd be dangerous though, but the chat could trigger it or something. Kalen Sky says the Squee is freaking amazing. I'm so happy with that graphic. There'll definitely be more to come, and hopefully reusable stuff so that we can have fun. We didn't really have a moment of Squee this time, just the accidental one.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if I didn't see Danny say that he was done. He's been saying, that's it for today.
Okay, well,
So we haven't seen anything else new yet.
I just want to twitter.com. I love how I type T in it. I was like, let's go there.
Just the don't order if you're going to be miffed about this.
Yeah, so we haven't seen an end of this. There may still be more to watch. Julia asks, what is the most difficult thing about choosing which doll to get? I think it's more like what's difficult about choosing which doll not to get.
Yeah. I would say, choosing your first doll is a bit of a challenge. And then after that, they just start coming home. Sandy's done apparently.
Still good.
Choosing which doll to get. No, I had a hair in my mouth. Choosing which doll to get. What's the most difficult thing?
They just speak to me. Like, I can say no.
Okay, so Julia says they would be choosing their first doll.
Ah.
Okay, we did a before you buy video where we talked about things that you can think about to choose your first doll.
I look for meaning in all my dolls, in every purchase. I look for a doll that has some meaning for me. My first doll I bought because I had a story in my head, and I was deciding. I had two dolls. I was deciding between Chitose, and I was deciding between Dauntless. Mm-hmm. And I ended up having a dream about us, like a story in a dream about Chitose, like, and suddenly I knew who she was. She had a story. Now, that's not enormous meaning for me, but it was like, okay, there's a story there. I'm going to go with her. Eventually, I figured out the story Dauntless would have. Yeah.
She says, I'm drawn to one doll, but I don't see her a lot. I don't think that matters. I mean, if you don't see her a lot, I mean, if it's the doll that you're drawn to, then, that's the doll you should have.
Yeah. All right. So Kay, we'll come back to you. Anna says, it'll make you cry if you don't get her. There's the one. And I think to some extent, like if you've got a draw, if there's something drawing you to one, then wait for that. And the tips would be, honestly, if you're not already in our Discord, I think the best way to keep up to date on the news is the Discord. Because you pretty much get simultaneous notifications in Twitter and you don't have to deal with Twitter or any of it. You don't have to deal with setting up an account to follow it and just that, unless you already have it. So you can set your alerts in there. Plus, you'll get people like, notifying if somebody knows you're looking for something. They might start mentioning like if you start really making some relationships and letting them know, other people might keep your eye out for you and DM you when it's come up. Or
I get tagged on Instagram all the time for things because people have heard me say I was interested in something or I wanted something.
Yeah. Also, of course, secondhand would be good. Going back up, Kay's question was, do you have advice on which doll I should get? So very similar, but I prefer semi-reels. If you don't have any yet, I mean, all the G7 girls are amazing, but I would wait for Future, probably.
Future is...
I mean, look, Danny says that if you're confused and you're not sure which doll to get Mirai. And Future is Mirai.
Is G7 Mirai.
So I would hold off on her. But if you're looking to buy specifically right now, I don't know, just read the stories. Like read the pages and the storytellers and
yeah, I mean if you probably have it narrowed down to a few that you like, read the stories. Which story speaks to you? I mean, if there's one that you like, you're gonna love it anyway. Like, regardless of which one you get, if you like it now, you're going to love it when it gets to your house.
Yeah. Kelly Poplar says, when do you think Danny will start making gray parts?
You mean like gray extra parts, like heel feet and stuff like that?
Well, there's a lot of ways I can interpret this question. I would, he's already making them. Selling them is a different story. Not till blue. I would hope that he'll have some. My guess is gray will come out, but not with gray option parts, if that's what we're talking about. I'm gonna guess we're gonna start seeing gray in Chaos in the next month or two.
Yeah, probably. Someone said that they can't go wrong with Fortitude or T-Genesis. T-Gen is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, legit amazing. Like, she looks great in almost everything, except for brassy blonde wigs. Very bad in brassy blonde, but...
Yeah.
But other than that, she is just...
If you want that sort of Tomb Raider vibe, like, she is perfect for that. Yeah. Kiki Doll says, is there a list of the molds and dolls somewhere? There's definitely one out there. I think it's in Appreciation Society, one of the Facebook groups. They've got it like under files.
It needs updating. It's being updated.
It's being updated. I think it's hard to use because it's just a PDF for each sculpt. So you need to know what sculpt it is before you can do it. I've been sort of messing around, and I may just have to start getting people to help doing data input, but using the app Notion, which is essentially like a shareable database app, and to have a database that is actually searchable, filterable, And you can look up a girl, see her sculpt type, and then see a list of all the girls with that same sculpt. So it's out there. It's not great, or it's clunky to use. Nevzilla, do you think Danny will ever pour marble parts?
I'm gonna say no.
Eh,
Because you can put tea heel feet or cinnamon heel feet. Oh,
we're going to have to get the other...
yes, I'm going to have to pop away for a minute. But, oh, that's your phone going
Yes,
off
we
right
have
now.
double alarms for the pill time for our dog, and the other one's blaring in there.
So
with
what
her-
I was saying was, you can if your doll is more cinnamon, you can put cinnamon heel feet on her. If she's more tea, you can put tea heel feet on her.
You could even mix and match them if one arm is more, it
I'm
works.
walking away.
Yeah, yeah, it's hurting my brain now. My guess is no. I wouldn't be surprised if randomly some happened in Chaos because he was experimenting with it, but I doubt we'll see much other. I mean, it's doable. He has the hands, but it's just such a small number of people that my guess is we're not going to see too much there. Blue didn't get that many. They got a couple of parts. But that had multiple dolls. So maybe when we start to see more marble girls, possibly. All right. Looks like everyone is good. I hope everyone got to pick up either Semi-Real Valiant or your uniforms. I can't, for some reason, can't think of Solar Marine. There it is. And it was definitely fun hanging out with you guys, getting to do a release live like this. So, Danny, if you want to drop stuff, during our lives, go for it. I like the breaking news.
I get to come back to say goodbye.
Yeah, I think so. But all right, so from us, to you, we hope you have a great week. We'll see you next Monday. Bye.
Bye.